Adrian Autry should have been fired at the end of last year when he was the captain of the ship of the worst Syracuse team since before the moon landing. It's not like we were saying you need to fire Adrian Autry after a 19-win season and they just missed the tournament. We were saying fire Adrian Autry because his second year was so historically bad, he should not get a chance to redeem himself because the odds that he will be able to redeem himself are incredibly, incredibly low. And it doesn't help Adrian Autry's case that in this era of college basketball, we see teams immediately rebuild their program in a single season. The Miami Hurricanes last year were a team that stunk. One of the worst teams in the ACC. New coach. Next thing you know, they're probably going to make the tournament. It's not a guarantee, but regardless, significantly better already. And you can kind of see how Miami in future years with this coach, Jay Lucas, maybe they could be something in future years down the line in the ACC. Adrian Autry should have been sent packing at the end of last season, and he needs to be sent packing now. Is it going to happen? Is John Wildhack going to make the correct decision? Of course he's not going to make the correct decision. It's John Wildhack we're talking about. I mean, see his last name and the 4 last letters of it. Hack. You get the idea. But why should Adrian Autry be let go midseason? I want to also be very clear. I don't think that firing Adrian Autry is going to change the trajectory of Syracuse's season. I don't think that Syracuse, by firing Adrian Autry and promoting anyone else from within, is going to change anything. I really don't from a results standpoint. They're going to miss the tournament no matter what. But there are legitimate reasons why it still makes sense to fire him. This is from Syracuse Sports Talk over on X after last game. Evidence number 1. Here it is. A player's parent just came over to the media table and said, quote, poor coaching as the game concluded. Big yikes. That's evidence number 1. Right there. You also had Tyler Betsy's father on Facebook ripping Adrian Autry after the Virginia Tech game. I mean, ripped him to shreds. Okay, so players' parents, maybe it was the same parent, who knows, but players' parents are not buying this coach. That's not good for Adrian Autry, especially when he's in charge of their kids. Okay? How about the fact that pretty much in every Syracuse game this season, the color commentator has mentioned something about how the offense and how all the players are just standing around. There's no ball movement. You get the idea. We've watched all the games. We've heard all the commentary, right? We've heard all of it. So you got color commentators who have played high-level basketball, clearly know basketball, observing with their own eyes that Syracuse's offense looks disjointed pretty much every single game. You got players' parents putting the coach on blast. What else? Well, you got the student section booing Adrian Autry and chanting to fire Adrian Autry during the game. Okay, so he's lost player parents. He's lost the commentators. He's lost a portion of the fan base, if not all of the fan base. But I think the final straw of why it makes sense to fire him midseason happened in this game. The fact that Syracuse did not even attempt to foul, down by 9 with a minute to go. Either the team was quitting on their coach and tuning him out, or the coach is so incompetent that he wasn't telling him to foul. Maybe the coach was giving up. Who knows? Who cares? The players are tuning him out or quitting. The players' parents are fed up. The fan base is either a combination of irate or just flat out apathetic. They don't care anymore. And you got color commentators every single game talking about how Syracuse on offense looked disjointed. What more evidence do I need to present that should exonerate Adrian Autry and that he should be given the rest of this season? I wouldn't. I don't think it makes sense anymore. Again, you're not firing Adrian Autry to try to save the season. You need to fire him to at least send a message to everyone that there's some accountability and that you care about this program. And I'm talking to John Wildhack. Do you care about this program at all? Do you care? Like, do you care? A single bit. You're very lucky that there are people who still do care about Syracuse basketball. You're very, very lucky. You're very lucky that Syracuse is a basketball school. Because if it wasn't, dome attendance, I mean, it was really bad for the Virginia Tech game. Dome attendance, I don't know if you would even have 1,000 people in the building for a game. So they're lucky. Please. I think a lot of us are just begging. You need to show that you care. There is enough evidence where the team is quitting, the players' parents are fed up, the commentators are constantly giving you all the warning signs in the world that this guy is not it. What more? What more? What has Adrian Autry done? He's done precisely nothing as a head coach. Year one, no tournament. I get they won 20 games. That was an accomplishment. And for a year one, that's pretty good for a year one. What happened in year two? What was the follow-up? Worst Syracuse season since before the moon landing. You make no changes to the coaching staff except for firing a strength and conditioning coach. I'm going to give you a broadcast analogy, okay? Let's do a broadcast analogy. Let's say there's a show. Actually, we can use the Locked On Syracuse show because I know some of you all hate me, so this is for you all, ladies and gentlemen, that hate me. Let's say that this show was doing terrible. Let's say that this show did absolutely no ratings, and it was very obvious that I needed to be let go, that I am not the right host for this channel, okay? Let's, in a pretend scenario, because for all the haters out there, I mean, I'm sure you would love that, okay? But let's say that was the truth. The Locked On Syracuse show is terrible because Jackson Holzer is a bad host. Let's say that the producers of the show are the assistant coaches, okay? Let's say that they're the assistant coaches. What Syracuse did is fire the camera operator. That's what they did. The strength and conditioning coach, after the worst season, you didn't fire the head coach. You didn't fire assistant coaches. You made no changes. The strength and conditioning coach was the only one. Again, back to the broadcast analogy. I suck as a host, okay? But maybe they want to put me in a better position to succeed. So maybe we need to change the producers of the show. No, let's fire the camera operator. Hello? That's it? And you expected a better product? I mean, it is, I guess, slightly better, but it's not meeting expectations of this community. You need to get rid of Adrian Autry now. Show that you care. Because if not, it's just going to keep turning apathetic. People won't care for the rest of the season. You won't get fans in the building. There will be no reason to watch games. You won't get the same revenue. Not that it, changing to Dan Engelstad is going to do much because he's terrible as well. But, I mean, you need to fire the guy.